everybody, it's Aquila, and this is a Lefty Knitter podcast, episode 11. Today's July 1st, it is Saturday. 3 weeks again. Sorry. I can't get on a tighter schedule, it's just not gonna happen. But at least I have stuff to show, because I feel like in 3 weeks I better have something done. My hair is kind of crazy today. I have not put a blow dryer to my hair in like 3 weeks. I really need a haircut too. Oh, it's terrible. It's just a hot mess. All right. This is a podcast about knitting and crocheting and fibery stuff, and I have some sewing today. It's always going to be a mix of just stuff. I live in Baltimore, Maryland with my husband and my 2 daughters and our cat. I've already had to re-record this once because the husband came in and was talking. Didn't realize I was talking to the camera, because that's what we do in this house. Talk to our phones. Okay, enough of that. I have some stuff to show, I have some whips to show, I have some spinning to show, and some acquisitions. It's a little bit of everything. It's all over the board. I'm wearing the shirt that I got from the band that I showed you guys at the end of last episode, and it's Washboard Breezy. That's the wife. And I think it's cool because it's got her washboard and her gloves that she wears. It's pretty fun. So if you didn't see the music at the end of that, I mean, if you're into different kind of music, or you're into like, I don't even know what the blues hillbilly, he plays tons of different kinds of instruments. Go back to my last episode and watch the end of that. That was a lot of fun. All right, so let's start right off with some finished objects, guys. I have 3. Well, technically 4 if you count the spinning section. So I finished the blanket. I posted pictures. That crazy huge crochet blanket. I don't remember how many I cast on. It was just to make it pretty giant. And I used a J-hook, and it was all single crochet. Held 2 strands of yarn double. It was supposed to be a stash buster. I ended up buying yarn to fill in some color gaps because I did not have all the colors. So I was following Mina Phillip, who made like this little baby blanket, and she transitioned the colors by using 2 strands at one time. So she would hold 2 of the same color, A, then A and B together, and then 2 of B, and then B and C, and so on and so forth. So I kind of was following that idea, because it's not really, I don't think there's like a pattern for it. I think it was just kind of like you go with the flow and you change the color. So oh my god, this thing weighs, I weighed it. Let me look at my notes. Ready? 3.9 kilograms. That's a lot, right? That's 8 pounds, 10 ounces. It's giant. I might have to take it outside today and do a video holding the whole thing, or if you check my Instagram or my project page, there are pictures of this giant, and I had it rolled up in like almost all the videos to show you guys, because it's giant, it's huge, it's so heavy, it's awesome. I love it. Okay, I'm gonna scoot back and hold up what I'll maybe I'll go color-wise this way. That's what I'll do. So, like I was saying, you're holding 2 of one color, and then you hold 1 of each of the next, and then so forth, and so on. And it is giant, guys. It is huge. And I just ended with white, and I did not put a border on it because, I mean, really, guys, it's giant. Look at this. It's touching the floor, and it's still above my head. Even though you can't see that, it's above my head. It's humongous. Like, super giant blanket. I love it. And so my second finished object is related to that because, oh my god, it made the whole table shake. Ah, earthquake. Related to that because I used as much as I could on that blanket. I went as far as I could with each color, not switching colors mid-row, only finishing full rows. So when I would cut it off at the ends, I decided I was going to make a magic knot ball of all the scraps of the scrap blanket and make a smaller blanket. Same size hook. This is only holding one strand at a time. So you can really see all the colors there. I don't like that you can see the magic knots, but it's okay. So I had decided to make my daughter a matching blanket or a baby blanket for her babies. So far, she's loving this as a baby blanket for her babies. So she has been using this for all her babies and wrapping them up in it, and she puts her babies in her grocery cart and pushes them around with the blanket on them, so it's really cute. I could always make this bigger and make it a blanket for her if I want to, but right now, it's fine, just the way it is. And these are all just single crochets. And it's so much fun. She loves it, and every time I was working on it, she just thought it was, she couldn't wait. She wanted to play with it right then and there. She's almost 2, so it's perfect little baby doll size blanket. So I'm gonna put that on top of the other ones. So that's 2. Oh my gosh, I shook the table again. I'm terrible at this. Okay, so this is my finished object number 3. I have never done brioche before. I was nervous about doing brioche because I'm a mirror knitter, but if I just follow the directions as said, everything should work out the way it should work out. That being said, I wanted to start with a project that was kind of smaller, not like a shawl. Like Stephen West has a bunch of shawls that have brioche in them, and a lot of people have brioche in some of their patterns. I didn't want to start with something that big. I was a little nervous that what if I really screwed it up, or what if I couldn't figure it out. So I decided Lavanya Patricella, I follow her on Instagram, and she is like also super brioche queen, and she had put out quite a few patterns with brioche, and I really like the idea of the bandana cows that people have been making, and she made one in like a heavier weight, I think like a worsted weight, and it was way big and kind of like hung down more, and I didn't like the look of that. I wanted it to be kind of tighter and around the neck and whatnot. So not long after I was thinking of doing this, she put out the fingering weight brioche bandana cow, which is what I'm going to show you. And here's the printout. It's a paid for pattern. I'm not going to show, I'm just showing the picture. And I did it, guys, and it was so not hard. I have mistakes, I'm not going to lie. This pattern uses a US size 3, and you use just like a 16-inch, like you would a 16-inch needle, like you would a hat. I didn't weave my ends in, but I'm considering it finished because I can. And so you're going to see ends popping out. And I did magic knot. I'll show you that too in this. But you can't really see it. Once I weave it and trim, it'll be fine. So here's mine. And the outside color, the front color, is Primrose Yarn Company in the colorway Fiji. You can see my background color. I changed it a few times, and I'll turn it inside out. I think, well, here's where I magic knotted the secondary color, and I just have to weave that in. And I do have some mistakes where I didn't bring the yarn to the front correctly where you're supposed to before you yarn over. And so I have some yarn overs that are in front of the front color, whatever color brioche is in the front, mostly on the inside, on the second side, side 1, side 2, because it's reversible. I have one on the outside. I honestly can't find it right this second, but I know I have some mistakes, and I know I was really screwing up on the decreases at first because I wasn't quite getting it. I think maybe my count was off somewhere too. I'm not, but once I started going, I was fine. It was perfectly fine. So I'm gonna flip it inside out so you can, well, let me try it on this way first and show you, and then I'll flip it out inside out and show you the second color. My hair's already a mess. Why am I even caring? Okay. So I like actually how this is tighter around the neck and not so floppy like the heavier weight. I would have even made it tighter or done something to make it tighter. But how cute would this actually be with a big tassel right here at the bottom? That would actually be really cute, even though it's going to be like tucked in my jacket probably when I'm wearing it. But so there it is while you're wearing it, and you can, I mean, I really love that it's not, the other ones like hang down too much, and I don't want that. I want it to be super cozy and tight up next to me when I'm wearing my jacket, or just wearing it, and I can tuck it down to wear it more like that, like if I don't take it off in the winter. So let me take it off now and show you the inside, which is mostly crazy hair, where my mistakes are. I don't know what I was doing in here. You might not even see it on the camera. Was that where it was? I really was doing some screwing up in the first section. But it is what it is. Look, see, there's one of those where I didn't move the string to the back right there. That guy is going over the front brioche color. Okay, so honestly, I don't know what the colors are on the back side because I was just pulling from scraps. I have like Ziploc bags where I keep all my fingering weight scraps of yarn. So this top color was a little ball of a mini of something. I don't know what it was, but it's a nice tonal purple. And then this one is actually a sock yarn I got like at Michael's or something. And it did change color, so you can see some pooling. It has grays and the purples and more grays and purples. And then my third color was a tonal gray. Sorry, if you can see that. And then all my little ends. There's another magic knot where I gotta weave it and cut it. But I don't think it turned out too bad. I actually really like it and want to make my husband one. He said I wanted to make him one in orange and black because that's Oriole's colors, and since he rides a motorcycle, he always wears a bandana up in his face when it's cold. So I just thought, how cool would this be to have a knit one, which would be warmer. But he tried this one on and he thinks it's too floppy up top because it has to stay up tight around his face. So I'm afraid if I don't cast on as many stitches, it will be super tight getting it over his head. I'm not sure. Or do I modify the pattern, knit it flat as a long triangle, and then he can tie it? Or knit it not completely long triangle, just knit like if this were broken here, like not in the round, and then put buttons so he can make it as tight as he needs to around his face. But that's something I'll have to work on and think of what I want to do and if he really will wear it. I think he would. And I have the orange and black, which would be perfect. So finished object number 3. I'm not even going to show 2 of my whips. I have 3 total. I'm not even showing 2. The Slippery Slope socks, which I'm using the Lucky Jenny colorway by Dogstar Knits, I may have put like 3 rounds. Not worth showing. The Typhoon shawl, I have now finished 6 of the 10 sections. Or no, lying. I had 6 out of 10 done last episode. I have now finished 7 out of 10. Not worth showing again. I probably won't even show that shawl until it's done and blocked and whatnot. That's the one I'm using, the self-striping yarn with the pink yarn. And it's just not, it's not much have changed on it to show it. So, but a lot has changed, and I think I will throw in maybe some pictures, or you can look at my Instagram maybe, or the project page. These are the one project that's still whipped that I've worked on the most, and I am almost done, guys. I'm almost done. So these are the Afterthought Everything socks. I don't remember the woman's name. I'll look it up. I did mine a little different. I actually did buy the pattern, but I didn't follow her pattern. I wanted to kind of see how she was doing it, but I didn't follow it. So I'm going to hold up what's almost done. It's almost done, guys. And when I mean almost, they don't have heels in them, so they look very strange. So the Afterthought Everything socks. I'm using a size 1. This is mustache yarn in the R2D2 colorway. It's another name, but I keep calling it the R2D2 colorway. This is just a blue yarn that I had gotten with the because this was only a 50-gram ball and not 100. So the Afterthought Everything I thought was perfect. I was going to do the blue toes, heels, and cuffs to make my yarn last as long as possible. So the Afterthought Everything was perfect. Sorry, my husband's in the kitchen making noise. I'm going to take these off. And what I decided to do was start with a cuff, like the pattern calls for. Knit the tube as long as you possibly can. And because I had a 50-gram ball, I used every bit of it. The change I made was, because this yarn, this was the first cuff. It goes in a specific stripe pattern. So the stripe pattern followed this way. So instead of putting another cuff at the end, like the pattern calls for, I put the toe. So technically it was like this, without the toe on it, and the tube, and this toe was on it. I put the toe at the end. So I had one really, really big, long tube sock. And then I cut it. I cut it exactly. I had 4 exact stripe repeats. And I cut it right at the center. I put stitches on and did a toe. I put stitches on and did a cuff. And now my stripes go in the correct direction. Because if I would have done it the other way, it would have been like this. And they wouldn't have matched. Not that that was a big deal. But I just thought it would be cooler if they matched. And I wanted them to match. And so there we go, guys. Look at that. Now I just have to measure and put in my heels, which I have tons of that blue yarn to do. So there it is. I love it. It's worked out really well. And I really think that if you want to do an Afterthought Everything sock and you have a striping sock yarn, that you can easily do exactly what I did instead of cuff to cuff. This way you can have your stripes going in the same direction if you really want to. I mean, some people really don't care, but some people are anal retentive or OCD and have to have them exactly matching. So to do that, you could do what I did. And I'm going to cut I've never cut my yarn like that before. I've never done an actual cut-in Afterthought heel. So I'm going to do that, and these will be done. I might have these done this weekend, if I get a chance to do it, because we have a pretty busy weekend. We have a birthday party today that started already, but she's sleeping, and the Dundalk Heritage Fair hopefully tomorrow, which is they have lots of awesome bands that come and play, and we want to go tomorrow because the Pony Brothers are playing, and they are one of the most awesome Beatles. They're not a cover band. They don't call themselves a cover band. They call themselves a tribute band. That's what it is. And they actually dress up in all the different eras. So they do like the Yellow Submarine era with the bright suits, and they do like the beginning when they wore just the black and white suits and had like the flop top hair. It's awesome, and they're so great, and my husband has seen them like I don't even know how many times. I think I've now seen them 3 times. He's probably seen them 30. So, there we go. So today is actually the first day of Tour de Fleece, which I am not probably going to participate in. I have so many projects I want to get working on, and maybe I'll spin some, but I'm probably not going to enter it in any groups or anything. So I had shown some of this spinning, I don't know, a couple episodes ago. I think I showed a bobbin of what I was spinning. But I am using Fat Cat Knits. I think this was a club colorway, and my friend Emily gave it to me. She spins a lot. And this is called Frog and Carp. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop in some pictures, and I'm going to do that like here. So in those pictures, I showed the fiber. I showed some bobbin shots. I showed some center pool ball shots, and then I showed a shot on my Nitty Knotty. So with this, I didn't want to just spin it straight from the braid. I wanted to break it up some. So it kind of had distinct sections of a pink, orange, yellow, then yellow and blue, green maybe, and then it had like blue and purple. So in those pictures you saw how I had spun it all color separated. So then I decided I wanted to keep those colors together to make almost like a faux gradient, I guess. So I made center pool balls from my singles from each bobbin, because I had one bobbin of each color. So then I spun them center pool ball as a 2-ply from the inside and the outside of the ball. So when I finished one color, I then went to the second ball and then sewed one to the third ball and plied it so it was a 2-ply. And I love it. I'm so happy. This is when I did my whips per inch tool, and I'm not quite sure if that's right or not. So I've already washed it and it's fluffed out. It is 286 yards of a 2-ply, and I'm thinking it's kind of a sport weight by what my tool says. But what what Ravelry says is its sport weight is 12 wraps per inch, and I was getting 16 on my little tool here. You put your yarn in here and you wrap it, and then you count your wraps. I was getting, here's the little card it came with, and per this 16 wraps, which I can't even find now. This is terrible. It says it's a sport weight, so I don't know. No matter what, I have thick and thin spots. I'm going to have to gauge swatch with it. I think I'm going to make a little vest or a tunic top for Hazel, because I think it's just really cute. And you can see my thick and thin spots. It's not perfect. This is only like the 6th thing I've ever spun on my wheel, and it's been a very long time since I've spun on my wheel. So I need lots of practice, and Tour de Fleece would actually help with that, but I'm probably not gonna... I'm not going to join. Here's all my little notes. I measured each of the little balls and weight-wise. My handwriting's terrible. I blame it on being a lefty. So, and it was more than, it said it was 4 ounces, but it was 4 1/8 of an ounce. I don't know how much of a difference that makes. If I was a better spinner, that might actually be a little bit of yardage. I don't know. My next whip work in progress is not fiber related, it is sewing, and I was infatuated with all the quilts that people were posting on Instagram in the Brooklyn Knit Folk Quilt Along with Jacqueline Salem. She did a tutorial series on how to do a very simple square quilt top, and she went through the whole thing of adding the backing and the binding and everything, and I was really inspired, and I got my sewing machine out. I also had bought this because I have some fabric in my stash to do this. You're making so much noise.
What doing?
You're making so much noise.
Oh, I know. I'm sorry. I have to live too. It just came in from the outside. It's very hot outside.
Okay. So I bought this. I went to Joann's. I had a coupon, and I bought this guy. I bought 2 sewing machine feet for my sewing machine. One is the 1/4 inch foot, so it shows you your markings for that. And I also bought a quilting foot to do some freehand quilting. My sewing machine is not that big. It's only gonna be great for smaller quilt tops probably. I don't think I would ever be able to freehand quilt something larger. And I had a cutting mat, and I have a rotary blade, and so I wanted to get this, and I bought the 6-inch one, 6 by, I think 10, that's terrible, no 12, 6 by 12. I figured that would be a decent size for most of the quilt tops I would be making, and to make some different I don't know. I've never quilted. I've watched so many quilting videos recently because I'm obsessed. And so I kind of cheated, and I bought charm packs to start my first quilt because I didn't have this ruler to use with the fabric that I had. So when I placed my order, I just ordered 2 little 6 by 6 charm packs, and they were 30 squares in, or maybe they were 5 by 5. I don't know. They were 5 inches by 5 inches. There was 30 in a charm pack, and so I got 2, and so I've put my quilt top together already, and it did not take long, guys. It was so fast. I really enjoyed it too, other than screwing up the first 2 squares twice. My brain wasn't there. So the charm packs came in 2 colors. I bought a teal pack and a gray pack. And in each pack you got, like I said, 30 squares and 10 different patterns. So 3 squares were the exact same pattern in each color. So if you looked at the whole thing, you would see it all repeats of the pattern. And I followed her thing, and I did each row, and then I pressed all my seams one way, and then I did my next row, and I pressed all the seams the other way, so when you line them up, you didn't have 6 layers of fabric, you only had 3 layers of fabric. And it is not perfect. My squares do not meet in each corner. I don't remember which one I started with, but they were really bad on the first 2 rows, but I got much better as I went. I'm actually really happy for my first try ever, because I've never done this before. She gave some good tips about backing fabric. Now I haven't bought batting yet. I have to get to the store to buy some batting because I really didn't know what to buy online. I want to go to the store and touch and feel and whatnot. But the one tip was to buy you could go to secondhand stores and buy some sheets. Or you could go buy sheets from the store, because a lot of times that's cheaper than buying fabric, because fabric can run $10 a yard, depending on what you're buying and if you're hitting a sale. So while at Target today, I just bought a cotton twin size sheet. I think I can get, for this size blanket, 2 backings. So if I do another quilt that has a color that I can match this with, I'll have another backing. These were on sale with the Cartwheel app for $8. So for $4 each. Well, you know, if you break down the price to 2, I can do 2 backings from 1 sheet. And it's all cotton, and you can't beat that. So I'm running with that. I also think if I cut it correctly, I can make my binding out of this too. I wanted my binding to be a different color, but I'm not stressing that. My first quilt, I think it will be fine. I just have to cut off all the little edges where it's already. I'm not going to pick that out and try to use it. I'll just cut right up next to it and get as much binding as I can out of it too. Maybe I'll only be able to get a backing and a binding. I don't know. I've never done this before. I didn't do any measuring yet. So there's my sewing, and I'm really, really, really excited to do some more sewing, and I actually really love the charm pack idea because it cuts out so much work of all that cutting. Rotary blades are expensive too, and you can't always use a coupon on those. So there's my sewing. The next segment is going to kind of be both acquisitions and my next project, like dream knitting. Not so much dream knitting because I've already started a swatch for it. So I'll just start with the dream knitting, which has some of the acquisition in it because I did need the yarn to start this. And I joined the Slow S Knitters group, which is a group of podcasters who started a whole nother group just to do knit-alongs all together within their groups. And I thought that was a pretty cool idea, and so they called it the Slow S Knitters, and you technically don't have to be a slow knitter to be in the group or to join in the knit-alongs. So the knit-along they're doing now is a summer top along, and if you go to the group, they have a bundle with like over 100 different patterns of ideas to use. And I had loved this pattern, and I had it in my favorites. And this is called Lena, and it's by Carrie Bostick Hogue, I believe. And I don't have a color picture, so sorry. And this pattern, she uses, I believe, she uses Sparrow by Quince & Company, which is all 100% linen. I went the cheaper route and bought Knit Picks yarn, and I bought the Lindy chain, which I know a couple other knitters in that group are using the Lindy chain, and they seem to like it. And I actually don't. I've knit up a swatch, and I'll show you. So I bought 6 of these, and the Lindy chain is fingering weight, 30% cotton, 70% linen. So it's still great material for a summer top. And I've never knit with linen before. I've used cotton before because I've made dishcloths, but I bought the colorway Serrano, which is like the Serrano pepper, which is this nice red. My mom always says I look good in red, but yet I own like no red. So I went with it, and that's why I was like, I'm gonna make red. So I'm using a size 3 needle to swatch. I think you use 2 different sizes, but you swatch with the larger size. And see, this one I already took the ball band off, and here is my swatch so far. And I'm pretty much on gauge without washing it and stuff. I'm pretty good. These linen tops all seem to be a little see-through, so I probably will be wearing it with a cami underneath. Unless you knit it with like super tiny needles, and then you wouldn't get your gauge. You'd have to change the whole size of your sweater. So I really love this color, and once blocked, it's really, the stitches I think will even out a lot. I've just never worked with linen, and everybody says linen just is so much better after you've washed it and dried it, and so I bought 6 balls of that color. So there's like future knitting plus acquisition. So while I was on there, I knew I needed to buy yarn for a baby blanket, that I wanted to make, and I really liked the Colorful Wedges baby blanket by Pearl Soho. It's very modern. It's, if you see it, it's like a plain background and it's all these wedges. They almost look like flag bunting. It's really pretty, but they're really elongated triangle wedges. And so I bought the yarn for that, and it's hard. You need 6 colors. You need a background color and 5 wedge colors. And so this is my background color. This is all Knit Picks Brava Sport, because it calls for sport weight, and it's 100% acrylic because baby blanket. Washable, dryable. No hassle, no fuss. I feel like that's a given when I make baby stuff. Background color, all right, and I'll hold up, okay, wedge, another wedge, another wedge, another wedge, and another wedge. And I think these are really pretty together. I'll hold up the wedge colors all so you can see them. I don't think I could. Maybe I'll do that. And they're really beautiful. So you need 2 of the background color, which was, I think, is just called white. And then the other colors that I bought were the Dove Heather, Cobblestone Heather, Tide Pool, which is this beautiful teal, Seraphim, which is kind of a, it's not so much mauve, it's very purple gray, like a muted purple, periwinkle, and then Tranquil, which is a brighter teal, but more on the green side of teal. But they're really pretty together. They probably won't be next to one another anyway in the wedges. If you look up the pattern, you'll see what I'm talking about. And because I was so close to hitting $50, and with Knit Picks, if you hit $50, you get free shipping. So why would I not buy $50 to get free shipping? Because the cost of the shipping, you could buy another skein of yarn. So this will probably be another baby knit. This is Knit Pick Stroll Fingering, which I love their stroll fingering, and it's 75/25 superwash merino nylon, and this is just hand painted fingering weight, and it doesn't give me a colorway on the label. Oh, I'm lying. Thunderhead Tonal, which is all these grays, and I think it's just really nice as a neutral color for a baby. And I'm gonna pair it up with this and do a little bit of accenting with this. And this is also stroll fingering in their smaller 50-gram skeins. And this is Razzleberry. And I thought that was just a really fun color. And this one was going, this was on sale because they're discontinuing the color. And how freaking bright is this? And the name is just awesome because it's called Pickle Juice. And it'll be fun as like toes, heels, cuffs in some of the yarns I have. It'll be fun. Or in maybe a brioche something. Like, too cool. I like it a lot. So that's all my acquisitions and all my knitting and whips and stuff. So I think we're going to go outside and podcast in the garden. If people really want to see that. Yeah, we'll do that. You wanted to be outside.
Oh, it's going?
Yeah. It's very sunny.
Yeah.
I don't have sunglasses on.
No?
No.
Do you want mine? You want to put them over your regular glasses?
No.
My
I just
wife
can't
can't
see.
see anything right
Yes,
now.
I can. I can see. It's very sunny.
Hello.
Yeah, I had an idea that we would show you like where I am all summertime, my little passion. So while she's in there, that's the international sign for knitting. Yeah, I'm out here plucking weeds. Damn it.
Plucking weeds, damn it. He must have missed some. He tried doing the garden, like weeding it so it's all nice and pretty. I mean, it's never gonna always be perfect. There's always gonna be weeds. There's always gonna be weeds.
Yeah.
Wow, it's very hot out.
Yeah. So this is the
small garden.
pepper garden.
Yeah.
It's like, as we like to call it, because there's peppers in there, and there's
Well, we have more than that. We have peppers. Mostly peppers in this one, huh?
She decided to do more basil than anybody could ever consume, and parsley, which she hasn't.
We used it. Don't lie.
We used it once.
We used
But
the
if I
basil
hadn't
once,
have
too.
said, "Hey, dude, do you want to use some of the parsley?" It wouldn't have gotten used.
Yeah.
But this is my pepper garden, yo. So what do we do now?
We're talking about your stuff and like life
Oh, life.
and whatnot.
Life's pretty cool, I guess.
We haven't done much in 3 weeks.
We've worked a lot.
We work.
I got a promotion at work, so I've been working a lot. Hey, there's a cloud. You can see us. Hello. Or we can see us. Something like that.
Yeah.
So it's so hard to sit out here and not talk about the garden. That's Michaela's bedroom window, right there.
Great. Yeah. So when people find out where we live,
Oh,
they can bust in her window.
don't come here, crazy knitting community. Break into my daughter's window. I have a gun, so I can get that. We can talk about that.
No.
Okay,
No.
that's cool.
Oh, we're losing the cloud again.
This is the worst.
This is the worst.
So yeah, so life. Got last time that we saw you, we went to. I was on my motorcycle.
Yeah,
and
because
my
you
wife,
didn't get to podcast last
My
week.
wife was like, "I'm not waiting until you get back. I'm doing it without you." So I was like, "Okay." So I got to go on a little tour day Delaware with my daddy. Every year we go on a Father's Day run, and that's pretty cool. So we went to
You went to some like
yeah,
airspace.
yeah, we went to Dover
military museum.
Airport, and they have like a military airplane museum, and that was rad as. It was really rad, and
PG.
yeah, and I highly recommend it. It's free. Take your kids, get to tour a bunch of cool ass
What
planes.
was the Air Force One? You got to see a retired Air Force
No, it was
One?
actually Air Force Two.
Oh.
It was Dan Quayle. No. Yeah.
Either way, they have lots of cool
Yeah.
stuff, and you should go. And he brought
Should.
Hazel back a
Oh,
little
airplane.
fighter jet plane,
Yeah.
and she went bonkers because she is crazy about anything that
Airplane.
flies in the sky. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much anything. Yeah,
That
so
was cool. I got burnt beyond burnt because
I'm
my
the
wife,
sunblock queen.
my wife was like, "Hey, if you go down by the beach, grab me some popcorn." So I said something to my old man, and I was like, "Hey, dude, do you want to go down towards the beach?" And he was like, "No," because he lives down there. And yeah, we just sat in beach traffic, and but I brought her some popcorn, and
It was
you
good.
know what?
I ate it all.
Didn't even get one single kiss. Not a kiss on the cheek, not a hug.
When you got home, I
Not a-
gave you a kiss. Stop. You act like whatever.
I came back looking like Lobster Boy.
Well, he should have taken sunblock. He did this the last time, and I said, "Hey, John, you should take sunblock. Hey, John,
Okay.
you should wear sunblock." Because I'm the sunblock queen. It's a religious thing to
Is
wear
it?
sunblock.
Do you pray to the sunblock gods? Is that
Maybe.
why it's religious?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, that's cool.
I wear it religiously when we're gonna be outside. Like
Our
I feel like I should
Father
have it
who
on like
art
right now.
In SPF heaven.
I've
30 be thy name.
I have had 3 spots removed for pre-cancerous for melanoma.
Yeah. I
So
was there for
I am
one of
very
them.
much
It
an
smelled
advocate.
weird because they burnt it out and
They burn your
it smelled
skin.
really weird. So, what's up, man? Yeah, that's not awkward at all. What's that? Got one. Appreciate you. Come on.
So it's already recording. So our neighbor's family came out and interrupted a little.
That was a little awkward.
Yeah, it was awkward.
I mean, for us, sitting there talking to a telephone.
Yeah. So it's now later after the birthday party, and we had a huge storm come through. It was awesome thunder, lightning, and everything's nice and wet, and we're gonna finish showing you the garden. It's over there. That's
I got some beans to pick.
Yeah, we're gonna.
So you'll get to go on this adventure.
Yeah, so we just wanted to kind of tie up the video a little.
Yeah.
And
I'll show you the one plant that I named. Who names plants? This guy.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Well.
Okay, well, since that's kind of the end and it's just gonna be random video, knit happy, guys. Bye.
Shake what your mama gave you.
Every time.
Is that the one I do every time?
Kind of.
Well, then that's my sign off.
Okay.
I guess.
Bye, guys. Thank you for.
Don't go.
Oh, I never even gave all my information. You can find me on Ravelry and Instagram as Aquila Dahan. Put it down here. We have a Ravelry group now, Lefty Knitter Podcast. So you can go join. There's not really much going on. Whatever. My husband's dying.
I'm dying.
Yay. Okay. Yeah, so thank you to any new viewers. Thank you to any old viewers. And yeah, knit happy and enjoy our little garden picking session.
And don't go chasing waterfalls.
That's better.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
But what if you like waterfalls?
Then I guess you chase them.
Okay.
All right.
Chase waterfalls.
Bye. Are you gonna wave?
Oh.
God, you suck at this. Bye.
That's not creepy.
Pick stuff with Dada. All right, so you gotta learn what to pick and what not to pick.
All right. So, these are green beans. You like green beans, right?
Yeah.
So you pick them and you put them in there. So where do you see some green beans at?
Yay. And we have a strawberry plant in there. So let us tell you a story about this. We were at the Home Depot and we wanted to have strawberries, but you have to plant them in something super, super deep. And the lady was putting this in the cart because it was damaged. And you can see right here, it's cracked. You might be able to see it.
See all these
There you
green
go.
beans? Pull one.
So who cares? It's missing a piece of the
Look,
lip,
you pulled
right?
the
Like
lip. Here, pull that. Pull that.
John asked the lady, was like, just curious, how much would you sell that to me for? And she was like, $1. And we were like, heck yeah. And we put it in our cart like ASAP and paid $1 for a like $46 pot. Ooh, look. Oh, there's a grasshopper. And he's super cute. And they're picking beans. We're gonna do, what kind of beans are you doing tomorrow?
Oh, I'm just gonna do the beans with the potatoes and the ham and the onions. No, you don't pull the leaves.
Oh, she's learning.
No, you only pull the beans.
So John does this green beans, ham, potatoes all in a pot, and you boil it for like, what, like an hour or so or more? It's
Yeah,
like a
something
long
like that.
time. Yeah, it's really good. So those are our regular beans. What were they?
Dude, get some from there. Here.
They're
look.
they're snap
behind you, too.
beans, which are like on a bush. And then these guys are edamame. And you can see the little pods growing. So we did edamame.
Look at all those
And this
beans.
is our crazy row of tomato plants. There's 5. 1, 2, yeah, 5. I think 2 are cherry tomatoes and 1 regular, 2 regular. And I know everybody's seen vegetable gardens. I'm ridiculous. There's our Oh boy, we have a flood. It like flooded.
Yeah, dude.
Yes, the ground was already super saturated. That is our cucumber plant. And back in that blue bucket, we were trying to do bucket potatoes. But I don't think that is gonna...
Story. You want to talk about that?
It's not really a fun story. It's just, I don't think it's working. We have to try it again. And then this is Hazel's little playhouse. These guys are... They're not a black-eyed Susan, although that is one of the Maryland flowers that are really famous. But they look like a black-eyed Susan, kind of. And it's a vine. And we have them growing 4 up our poles here on the edges. And we tied them up with some fishing line. And you can see they really do climb. Oh my gosh. And when these really get going, they produce so many flowers. It's insane. It's really cool. So there is our big veggie garden. One of them are veggie gardens. We have that second one that we showed, and I'll have John show you some of the peppers and stuff in a bit after they finish picking beans. I'm gonna go help, and she is already covered in mud and her butt is all wet. But this is the fun of teaching her young, and it's awesome. The other garden? Mama. Yeah? Wait, you named a plant? Which one?
We'll find out in a minute.
Oh, it's recording, so...
Oh.
So you're going to talk about your... You can't let her pick these because of
you can't pick them.
the hot peppers.
So every year I do a pepper garden, and then this is it. So, every year, we've never really stuck to the same old peppers. We just had a massive snowstorm. Jesus. So these are our red bells. They're starting to come in now. And then, let's see, we've got the Anaheim hot peppers. They're still getting tall. They're not really doing anything. They're starting to flower on a couple of them.
That's
These
our
guys
little
are
the mini
lunchbox
oranges. Yeah.
Got a couple of those in my Anaheim hot peppers.
Another one, yeah.
These guys right here are just the Bonnie Green bells, so these will be big red.
And this is your big poblano. This will be a poblano.
That is my one that is that I've named. His name is Poblano Escobar. And then we've got these guys, which are our cowbell peppers.
Cowhorn? Aren't they? What are they called?
I thought they were cowbell.
Oh, are they?
No, they are cowhorn.
Cowhorn. Yeah, because it's shaped like a cowhorn.
What I kept saying was what this garden needs is more cowbell. And now that's not
Don't pick them, baby.
So we got more just green bell peppers. We've got another Poblano Escobar. We've got more cow horns.
Yeah, look at that guy. Wow. Are they a hot pepper?
No, I think they're like medium.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It says hot though.
Woo!
All right, no.
No. And then this is the juniper, the big fat green junipers. And we're starting to get some. Look how messy you are. And so we do the marigolds around to help pollinate, and also hopefully to keep some bugs away, but mostly for pollination. Do not pull any of those, please, okay? Yeah, don't do that. And then this is what John got crazy on me about, because this is basil. This is basil, and we gotta really pick it. It's like starting to get overwhelming. That's basil. That's basil. And then that is parsley. So, yeah, went a little crazy, but oh my gosh, does this basil just smell so good. It's so awesome. But, yep. Alright. That's our garden, and that's where we're going to end it. You want to say bye?